To be honest, Race is kind of like 42 all over again, just not as good. I'm sure you all know this, Race is a biopic of Jesse Owens. More specifically, it's about the time when he was in the 1936 Olympic Games, when it was held in Germany during the Nazi regime. That's pretty much it. First off, all the acting was really great. Jason Sudeikis might have a bit more of a standout role in this film.
Well then, for the next 28 months, you're either in a classroom or you're on that track, every hour, every day. And I don't care about your grades. I really don't. I don't care if your buddies have a keg they need help with, and I certainly don't care if you got a girl at home rolling down her silk stockings with that look in her eye. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, well, go home, get some rest.
But Stephan James did a really good job at Jesse Owens, even though he wasn't given a lot to work with, I feel. I will tell you this much. I was interested in the film throughout. There wasn't any time where I felt bored. There wasn't moments where I felt it was too long. For the most part, it was a decently crafted biopic with great acting. Now, where the movie really finds its stride and really becomes amazing is the last third of the movie, when they're in Germany, when they're at the Olympic Games. Because for me, everything at the Olympic Games was really amazing. The last third of the film, easily the best part of this movie. I liked the look and the epic scale of the entire stadium. I loved all the moments where Jesse Owens participated in the events. I loved the friendship he bonds with one of the German competitors.
The white flag is up. 8.06 meters. It's a new Olympic record.
The film has a lot going for it within the last third of the film. And so the film does leave a really great lasting impression because of how great the last third of it is. But as I thought back to the last 2/3 of the film, I started thinking, well, maybe this isn't quite a 4-star movie for me, because I started seeing some issues that I had with the first 2 acts that I didn't have when I was watching the film. Now, we all know that the title of the film has a double meaning. And since 2/3 of the film is set in America, a movie set during this time, you expect to see a bit of racism as well as segregation. Now, you definitely see some of that in this film, but nowhere to the extent of where it could have. Like, the only time I felt where it was truly effective and just a punch to the gut is the last act of the film, where they get back to America, and yeah, there's something in that that was just really effective. However, all the stuff that's in the second act, dealing with segregation and dealing with racism, it feels really tame. Now, this is something that 42 did an amazing job at, as well as Selma. And maybe the problem with this film is the fact that we have Nazis in it, because when Nazis are involved in a film, they tend to be the main villain, and all the villainy and all the bad stuff seems to focus and revolve around them, to the point where any other issues seem to be forgotten. So when you have a film that's set in the US, where it's during that era with racism and segregation and all this terrible stuff happening, but you also have Nazis in the film, it feels like the racism and segregation gets left out and just brushed upon. Well, the main focus is we gotta beat these Nazi bastards. Now, this film does follow a lot of the cliches, a lot of the plot points that any sports biography does. But you do get what you expect. In this movie, they try to give Jesse Owens some flaws, give him some more humanity, and show us that he makes mistakes too. But it's done in a way that isn't really as challenging as it could be. I think the way they do it is a bit cute and sweet, but nowhere near as great as most movies where they have some sort of inner demons or some sort of flaw that the character has to cope with. They don't go to that level where you would expect. Also, this movie implies that America learned rumors about the concentration camps back in 1935 or 36 or whatever some of this movie, because I'm sure it's not just all in 1936. I'm sure some of this movie is a little bit before the Olympic Games. But it gives implications that people have heard rumors already about concentration camps, and I don't think we knew that early. Like, I'm sure there could be arguments on us learning about it before we stepped into World War II. I'm sure there's arguments for that, but I'm sure there's not any arguments for us learning about it back in 1936. Now, a committee did have to vote on whether they should boycott the Olympics, but the movie implies that maybe it's because of rumors of concentration camps, but really the main reason was because Germany, or Hitler, didn't want Jews or blacks to attend the Olympic Games. That was the main reason why countries wanted to boycott. But the movie implies that it's something more than just that. I still feel that it's a solid biopic, greatly acted, and an amazing last act. Like, there's practically nothing in that last act that I don't like. But for me, it's not quite enough to boost it up to a 4, so I'm going to give Race 3.5 stars. So did you see Race? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your favorite sports biopic? And if you like this video, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews of 2015 and 2016. They are in my playlists. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.